PACCAR Inc. is a Fortune 500 company and was ranked the third largest manufacturer of medium and heavy-duty trucks in the world in 2011 Euro 12, and has substantial manufacturing in light and medium vehicles through its various subsidiaries. For its leadership in the development of aerodynamic, lightweight commercial vehicles that has led to reduced fuel consumption and increased efficiencies, PACCAR Inc. was awarded the National Medal of Technology at the White House in 2006. The Compagnia Euro unregistered trademark S presence has been especially strong in Renton, Washington, where it remains the oldest continually operating business. PACCAR's assembly plant in Renton was recognized as one of the best workplaces for commuters for the fifth consecutive year by the National Center for Transit Research in June 2013. The plant also celebrated its 20th anniversary in June 2013 and has produced more than 130,000 heavy-duty and medium-duty Kenworth trucks since it started its operations in 1993. History. PACCAR Inc. started a Seattle car manufacturing company in 1905 with a capitalization of $10,000 and was founded by William Pigott, Sr. Its original business was the production of railway and logging equipment. The company built a new factory in Renton in 1909 after its Duwamish facility was destroyed in fire, as well as to fulfill large number of orders. In 1917 it merged with a Portland firm, Toye Brothers, which was its only competitor on the West Coast at the time, and company was renamed as Pacific Car and Foundry Company. The company manufactured horse or oxen-drawn logging trucks built specifically to address the dense, hilly forests in which the Northwest logging industry operated to transport massive logs. The following years the company specialized in designing air brakes, open cars, refrigerated boxcars for shipment of perishable items, and the universal trailer which could be pulled by a truck. The company also manufactured structural steel that was finished by hand that was used to create columns and girders that went into many a Seattle landmark building. In 1924, the founder, William Pigott, sold a controlling interest in the company to American Car and Foundry Company. However, his son, Paul Pigott, reacquired a significant interest in the company from American Car and Foundry Company in 1934. During the Great Depression in 1930, despite the stock market crash, the company's earnings rose. But as the Great Depression deepened, Pacific Car and Foundry became one of the most depressed businesses in the Northwest. During the late 1930s, Pacific Car and Foundry had received government contracts for steel fabrication for construction of Lacey V. Murrow Memorial Bridge, as well as orders from other companies. During World War II. During World War II, Pacific Car and Foundry Euro unregistered trademark S sales had grown due to an increased demand for steel used in airplanes, airports, bridges, naval ships, highways and other equipment that helped build America Euro unregistered trademark S infrastructure to support the war effort. Pacific Car also subcontracted for Boeing, building aluminum wingspans for B-17 bombers. During the spring of 1942 the company also built Sherman M4A1 tanks for the U.S. Army. The company was able to cast almost all the parts for the tanks at its own foundry. Other notable vehicles that were built included the M25 tank transporter, known as the Dragon Wagon, and the T-28 Super Heavy tank. Everett Pacific Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company was established in 1942 that built ships and other marine products for the U.S. Navy in Port Gardner Bay in Everett. It was bought by Pacific Car and Foundry in 1944. Post-war. After World War II ended, Pacific Car was a part of the federal government Euro unregistered trademark S mobilization planning program, which meant that it promised to devote 100% of its facilities to military production in the event of a national emergency. The company was a prime contractor during the Korean conflict for producing tanks. Pacific Car chose to subcontract many of the necessary parts, boosting smaller businesses in the state. In 1945 Pacific Car purchased the Kenworth Motor Truck Corporation, which was named after the stockholders Harry Kent and Edgar Worthington. Kenworth had been producing trucks in Seattle since it was incorporated in 1923. During World War II, Kenworth produced trucks, airplane assemblies and sub-assemblies for the United States military. As the war drew to an end, Kenworth shifted attention to production of commercial trucks for the postwar market. In 1956, Kenworth lost independent status and became a division directly under PACCAR and Foundry. In 1954, PACCAR acquired the Dart Truck Company of Kansas City, Missouri, and the Peterbilt Motors Company, of Oakland, California. Dart built primarily heavy off-highway dump trucks and specialty vehicles. Peterbilt had been a major competitor with Kenworth, producing many kinds of trucks and buses. Peterbilt operated as PACCAR, a Euro unregistered trademark S wholly owned subsidiary till 1960, following which it was dissolved and made a division of PACCAR and Foundry. PACCAR, a Euro unregistered trademark S structural steel division, made the steel used to build the 50-story Seattle First National Bank headquarters and to build Seatley, a Euro unregistered trademark S Space Needle, in 1961. The firm provided 5,668 steel panels, weighing 58,000 tons, which formed a major part of the bearing walls for New York City's World Trade Center Twin Towers. The World Trade Center, like the C-First building, bore the building Euro unregistered trademark S load on the exterior walls rather than on an interior structural skeleton. The steel panels were shipped by rail from Seattle to New York City on more than 1,600 rail cars. PACCAR was the largest contractor of the 13 steel fabricators that provided steel for the World Trade Center towers. Challenges from 1970s to 1990s. Despite a serious slowdown due to national recessions during 1974, PACCAR continued to generate increasing sales throughout the 1970s. PACCAR purchased Wagner Mining Company in 1975, which built underground mining vehicles. International Car Company in 1975 and Fodden Trucks, a British truck manufacturer, in 1980. Fodden sold trucks in Europe and Africa. PACCAR International was formed in 1972 that promoted exports worldwide. PACCAR Technical Center was established in 1980 in Mount Vernon, Washington as a research and testing facility. The facility included test tracks, engine test cells, materials test laboratories and structural laboratories. The Tech Center conducts an open house event every April that coincides with the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. In 1984, PACCAR posted record sales in its history of $2.25 billion. In the mid-1980s, PACCAR's share of Class 8 trucks dropped to about 18% owing to aggressive competition from Freightliner Trucks, which is a subsidiary of Daimler AG, and the merged operations of Volvo White and General, which forced PACCAR to close Kenworth assembly plant in Kansas City in April 1986 and Peterbilt plant in Newark, California, the following October. PACCAR acquired Trico Industries in 1986, which was a manufacturer of oil exploration equipment based in Gardena, California, for $65 million in order to reduce its dependence on the Class 8 truck market. During the mid-80s, PACCAR was negotiating with the Rover Group for acquiring its British Leyland truck division. However, Rover management decided to sell the truck division to DAF Trucks, which was a Dutch automotive concern. Dart Truck Company and Wagner Mining Equipment Company was sold in 1984 and 1989 in order to remain profitable. In 1987, PACCAR acquired ALA Euro unregistered trademark S Auto Sapoli and Grand Auto Incorporated, which led to its entry into the automotive parts and accessories retail market that gave the company greater ability to weather periods of national economic downturn. The 1990s and beyond. PACCAR Parts was created in 1992 in Renton, Washington. The building it was housed in occupied part of the Campania Euro unregistered trademark S historic PACCAR and Foundry site. In the same year, PACCAR purchased a 21% stake in Wood Group ESP, which added to its oil field equipment manufacturing. In 1993, PACCAR acquired a line of winches from heavy equipment manufacturer Caterpillar. The same year, it bought a new plant in Washington online to help meet the increased demand for trucks. In 1994, the company began selling in New Zealand for the first time and entered new countries in Asia and Central and South America. The company made its Mexican joint venture Vilpac, S.A., a wholly owned subsidiary, in 1995. PACCAR's winch division was one of the world Euro unregistered trademark's largest manufacturer of industrial winches by 1994. PACCAR International marketed trucks to more than 40 countries, and was one of the largest exporters of capital goods in North America by 1995. Kenworth Truck Factory in Renton, Washington was opened on June 4, 1993. In 1997 Mark Pigott assumed PACCAR's presidency as Charles Pigott retired in 1997. In 1996 and 1998 the company spent $543 million to acquire DAF Trucks NV based in the Netherlands and Leyland Trucks Limited, an acquisition it first pursued back in the mid-1980s. These acquisitions were funded in part by the sale of Trico Industries to EVI in 1997. Financial and leasing subsidiaries also performed well in the late 1990s. Also, in 1998 PACCAR acquired UK-based Leyland Trucks for its light and medium truck design and manufacture capability. With its Peterbilt, Kenworth, and DAF nameplates, PACCAR ranks second in production numbers in the United States and third in production numbers globally in big rig truck production, behind Daimler AG in the U.S. market. Other major heavy truck competitors include Navistar International and AB Volvo. Subsidiaries: Kenworth, Kenworth Australia, Kenworth Mexicana Mexico. Peterbilt, DAF Trucks, Leyland Trucks, PACCAR Winch, PACCAR Lease, PACCAR Parts, PACCAR Financial Corporation, PACCAR Global Sales, PACCAR ITD, Dynacraft, PACCAR Technical Center. Financials. Criticism: in December 2011, the non-partisan organization Public Campaign criticized PACCAR for spending $0.76 million on lobbying and not paying any taxes during 2008 to 2010, instead getting $112 million in tax rebates, despite making a profit of $465 million. See also: Kenworth, Peterbilt, DAF Trucks, Pacific Trucks, Semi-Trailers, VDL Bus, G-Numbers, Mark Pigott, Daimler, Volvo Trucks, Tata Motors. References. Notes: David Wilmer, Pacific Car and Foundry Company becomes PACCAR Incorporated on January 25, 1972, History link, April 11, 2001. PACCAR, The Pursuit of Quality, Alex Groner and Barry Prevost. Documentary Media, Seattle, Washington, 2005, a Euro 4th edition. External links: official website, PACCAR Incorporated, PACCAR official history page, historical annual reports for Pacific Car and Foundry, historical annual reports for PACCAR.